Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. So, I've been trying to branch out, and I think you guys know this, for my mediums, I guess, media, of how I do nails. So, today I'm coming at you with gel. This is hard gel. So, I'm just showing you the products I'm using. I'm using Young Nails Protein Bond. If you're doing it on a practice hand, I wouldn't actually put Protein Bond on it, but for all intents and purposes. I'll be using a form on this hand, or on this finger. I will have my Young Nails gel brush, and the two colors I'm going to use, kinds of gel, I'm going to use base gel, and I'll tell you more about that, and then concealer pink. So the first step that we have to do here is you just want to cleanse the nail. And when you're working with Young Nails products, just remember that, don't just cleanse the nail and then go straight in with Protein Bond. You can see that I kind of almost do that, but you kind of want to wait for the nail to matte up and for the swipe to dry, because otherwise you're going to have adhesion problems. You can see it kind of going matte again. Right there, you can kind of see it creeping down the nail, and I just kind of wave at it. And of course, if you were doing another hand, it would probably be dry by the time you came back to it, but we're just doing one finger for right now. So, just a nice coat of Protein Bond. Be sure not to flood the cuticle, otherwise you're probably going to get lifting because it kind of pools back there. And then the same, again, I normally, when I'm doing Protein Bond, I will go into the bottle every time I go to do a finger, but I take all of the Protein Bond off of the one side of the brush, and since it's kind of a wiry brush, it's not like a brush that absorbs a ton of liquid, it takes a significant amount off, so you're not oversaturating anything. So you want to kind of let that dry, and you would ideally, before you do your second coat of Protein Bond, you would go through all 10 nails and do it, and then you would come back and do it again on all 10 nails, and then you can get started with your application. Now, if you have a lifter, you always do have the option of maybe you can do swipe twice and then Protein Bond all the nails and then Protein Bond for your second coat one at a time. I'm horrible at that. I've tried to prime one at a time, and I always forget. So right now I'm just forming up that nail with my Young Nails form. I'm not doing a super long nail, so I'm not going to really worry about the form. So now I'm going to use base gel, and don't mind my brush here because I totally didn't clean it really. It was still sticky from the last time that I used gel. So when you pick up base, you use a different method than if you pick up anything else. You kind of just dunk your brush in, and you pick up a little bead of base. You kind of shake off the little tail of the gel, and you can see I have a nice little bead of base. And that's really all you need, because you just really need to base the natural nail. You don't need to get it on the form. Not a big deal. So you just want to make sure you have a nice even coat of base. Always put your gel products away before you cure. Now, I'm going to cure for 30 seconds at least. Normally they say just put it in as long as it takes you to do the other hand, but 30 to 60 seconds for that. This is concealer pink, and when you are picking up the concealers, you can see they're very thick. So you're going to want to kind of scoop it out, and then I always build out my free edge first, no matter if I am doing acrylic or gel, and I haven't been working with Young Nails gel for a whole heck of a long time. Probably about 2 months, maybe, a little less. But I can tell you that and I am still getting the hang of it, but it's not like acrylic where you have to press and pull. And I'll tell you why you don't want to press the gel to tell it where to go. Gel is pretty chill. I would say that acrylic, if I was equating gel and acrylic to children, because my other profession, I guess, and this isn't really a profession, nails, but my actual profession is teaching. Acrylic is like the kid that you always have to constantly be giving directions to, and you have to tell them, even though you should be thinking okay, we've been here for how many months? Isn't this self-explanatory by now? But no, you have to tell them every time, and you're just kind of rolls eyes. But gel is kind of like the chill kid who like knows exactly what you mean every time something happens. So I'm curing this because I don't want it to go anywhere. And that's the nice thing about gel is you can kind of work in patches. Like you can sculpt the free edge and then you can cure it and then you can start from the cuticle and then you can add more if you want and cure and cure and cure. So that way it's not moving. But like I said, gel is a lot more chill than acrylic. Acrylic kind of, you're on a time limit and you have to boss it around. You have to push it around and stuff and make sure it goes where it needs to go. Gel will kind of go by itself. So you don't need to be quite as bossy with gel, and you definitely don't need as heavy of a hand. Definitely a light touch with gel is fine. I thought I cut this out, but I guess I didn't. So enjoy my lamp. So definitely when you are curing gel, for this it's not such an issue because it's a fake hand and no one cares about fake hands. Well, I mean, like, it's plastic, it doesn't have feelings. If you are doing a client, they should be okay with the base gel. They should be okay with that, curing it on a full power mode. However, with any other kind of the gel, so anything except base gel, so concealer pink, even the clear gels, definitely turn on, if your lamp has it, the 90-second like low heat mode where it kind of bumps up the heat every so often. I think it's every like 45 seconds or something. Like it'll increase like to a little bit. It's gradual. It gradually gets up to full power, your lamp. And that's important because gel, if you just stick their hand in there for 60-second full cure, full power, it is going to light them on fire. Trust me, I did it with myself. I was like, oh, how bad can it be? Stick it in for 60 seconds, and I was like, oh my lord. But the half power really does, or the 90-second like low heat mode, I think is what it's called, or low power mode, does help with that. So definitely do that when you are curing anything other than the base gel. And if you do find that the client is maybe a little sensitive to the base gel, I have really thin nails and even the base gel can burn on me a little bit, then do it for that too. But you are going to want to do a full 60-second cure afterwards. So what I want you to remember though is, and this is cured, I did go and cure this, is when you're curing these layers, so I did the free edge and then I cured, and then I did kind of the body and then I cured, and now I'm going to go in and I'm going to kind of make sure my apex is there and I'm going to cure again. For those cures in the middle, you don't need to cure it for 60 seconds. Now, I would cure it on like low heat mode for like most of it, but you just really need to make sure it stops moving and it kind of hardens up. So you could probably cure it on low heat mode and for like half of the time, and then it'll start to cure and it'll go through its reaction where it's already kind of started to harden, so we're past that burning phase that it'll burn. And then once maybe you're done with the whole hand doing that, then you can put it in for a full 60-second cure on full power, if that makes any sense at all. If you want more videos about builder gel or hard gel, please do let me know. It's also very important to note that this Young Nails hard gel is not soakable. You can't soak it off. It's not a soak off gel. You have to file it off. So just keep that in mind. If you're not confident with the e-file, maybe stick with acrylic or find a different system that might better suit your soak off needs. And now you're probably thinking, well, what is the advantage to gel? And you're probably thinking, it looks like you're taking a lot longer. Actually, I can do a nail probably in about the same time, if not less, with gel than I can with acrylic. And you're probably thinking, well, doesn't it take more time to cure it? And like you have to put it in the light? Acrylic just cures in the air. You're right, it does. However, when that is in the light, if I'm doing two hands, I bounce back and forth. So definitely remove the dispersion layer. It is gel. It does have a dispersion layer there. And now I'm going to show you how to do it on a tip. You can do gel on tips, and here's the tip. Haha, no pun intended. Actually, kind of. I'm going to give you about tips. So first of all, you need to base from the cuticle, and you have to base on the tip. Make sure that tip is roughed up. It needs to be filed, and that gel needs a hard, rough surface to cling to. When you protein bond, you don't have to protein bond the tip. It's not going to be the end of the world if you do, but it's kind of just a waste of product, because really protein bond is more for the adhesion of your to the product from your natural nail. I don't think I put protein bond on this one, but definitely base the whole nail. I probably touched it to the top of the light, so don't mind that. If that does happen, just kind of brush over the nail with the dispersion layer of the base. So now I'm just going in with a raw glitter, and I actually mixed this glitter with Flex Gel, which is one of the different viscosities of gel that Young Nails has, which is why I really like Young Nails' Synergy Gel line, because they have a lot of different viscosities. So you'll see the different thicknesses, essentially, of the gel when I go to cap this glitter in clear gel. Now, I really do like gel for a couple of reasons. It does suit a lot of my clients' current needs, because like I have some clients who they're sanitizing their hands a lot, they're washing their hands a lot, they spend a lot of time with their hands in water, and builder gel is going to hold up to that a lot better than acrylic is, because gel is non-porous and acrylic is porous, so water is going to break down that acrylic and make it lift. You're not going to have that problem so much with gel. And gel has really great adhesion, even to my nails, which are lifting prone. Now, if someone had super thin, weak nails, I would not initially put gel on them unless it was like some sort of an overlay, or maybe if they did have their hands in water all the time, then that is something that I would do. I would use gel in that case. But it's a little bit more flexible than acrylic, so it's not quite as hard, I guess, but it's definitely still durable. Like, don't be thinking like, oh, I can't wear gel because it's not durable. Like, no, that's not really how it works. It is as durable as acrylic if you do it correctly, and if you build the nail correctly and have the thickness that it needs in the spots that it needs. But the other thing I love about gel is the clarity. Gel is so clear if you do it right. You can kind of get bubbles and cloudiness if you misstep, especially you can get a lot of bubbles if you are kind of patting the product, like you would almost pat acrylic if you're not kind of letting the product work for you. And if you are just, like, again, messing with it a lot. Which is why I'm going to go back to the different viscosities that Young Nails has. So Young Nails has a couple of different viscosities. Base is the thinnest, and that's the thing that we put on to adhere the gel to the natural nail and act as that anchor. Now you can build with base gel, but it's the runniest. It's the thinnest. So if that's the viscosity you like, then go for it. So now I'm going to use build gel. This is the, I guess, medium kind of consistency. So it's not it's going to flow a little bit for you, and you're going to see that it's a little runnier, but it's still very clear. So you can see that it has a really nice workability. I love base gel. This is probably my favorite consistency out of all of them. You can see it's not really sticking to my brush like the Pink Sculptor did, or the Pink Concealer Pink did, which I'm not saying that's bad, but if you were used to acrylic and how it, like, once it is set, it kind of doesn't move on you, then I guess the Sculptor lines, like the Clear Sculptor or the Pink Concealer Pink, those are all sculpting ones, all sculpting gels, and they are really thick, and really once you put them, they're not going to move on you too much unless you are, like, really holding them crazy. Because you saw how how much I had to almost dig into the pot to get it out. Now this, it will kind of run into your cuticles if you're not careful. So I definitely only do about 2 fingers at a time with this one, and then I cure, again for that low heat mode. And as you can see, I'm checking the sides of my nail, and I'm probably going to cure that. Oh, you can add more gel, like that's not really a problem, and the gel will kind of self-level into something really nice. But if you don't have to work all in one bead, you can cure. So as you can see, I filed, I shaped, and now you're just going to see how clear this gel is. Look at that clarity. Oh, the glitter I'm using, by the way, is the Ariel glitter from Kylea Wherry's Disney Heroes and Villains collection. I mix it with Flex Gel, which is like this next thickest, like it's thicker than base, but it's thinner than Build Gel. It's really great for mixing stuff into. You just have to make sure you get the right ratio. Because as you can see, I kind of struggled a little bit with the glitter. If I would put more gel on it, it would have been fine. And this is the concealer pink. As you can see, it really is a gorgeous color, and it doesn't look entirely different from the acrylic nail that I have over there to the far right. That is a sculpted acrylic nail. Other than, like, yeah, okay, the lengths and shapes are slightly different because I did them on different days, but still, they are, you know, shiny and nice and smooth, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As I have mentioned in previous videos, be sure to let me know if you have any questions that you would want me to answer on the Q&A video that I plan to do at 500 subscribers. Just leave a red heart emoji in the comment with that question so I know to write it down. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know if you would like any other tutorials with gel, if this is something you like, if it's something you don't. Just let me know. Alright, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you stay safe. Bye.